I'm going to give you 10 things to do so that you can stay single. Okay? I'm going to tell you what to do so that you stay single, so that you can stay attracting toxic relationships, so that you can stay living life mediocre where you're not really satisfied, because then your brain, according to science, will invert it and be able to receive it much better than if I tell you the steps to do in order to make it work. So as your coach, I want to ask you first for your permission to be your coach so that I can be able to help you to make the changes that will start to help you to change your life. Do I have permission to be your coach? If I do, just put your hand up and say aye. Now, I'm going to give you 10 things to do so that you can stay single, so that your brain can inverse it and do the opposite without your brain kicking into resistance. Because after doing this for so long, I realized that when I'm telling you guys things to do, especially when you haven't invested in yourself, then your brain is set up to say how it's not going to work. Your brain is set up to dismiss the information. Your brain is set up to not do anything with the information that I'm going to share with you. So I'm going to do a technique so that we can trick your mind, so I can tell you the opposite so that your brain inverses it and hopefully does the opposite so that it can work for you. So the first thing, ladies, that you can do starting today so that you can just stay single is to do dinner on the first date. When a man asks you out, a man who you don't know, a man who hasn't earned your time, a man who you really haven't had a chance to determine his character, his values, and and he says, hey, I would like to take you out to dinner. You say yes to him, then, that will help you so that you can be able to stay chronically single. Go ahead and accept all the dinner dates. Go ahead and waste your time accepting dinner dates with men who you don't know and who haven't earned your time, so that you can basically send the message that you don't value your time, that you're not the kind of woman that he's going to have to work hard for, which will then allow you to filter in all of the low quality men who all they have to do is throw a little money in the beginning and then show that they're a Build-A-Bear later on. Okay. So that's number one. The second thing that you can do so that you can stay chronically single for the rest of your life, so that you can stay attracting dysfunctional toxic relationships, is to just be yourself. Just keep doing you. Just be like, you know what? This is me. This is who I am. I'm not going to change. Whoever is meant to be, then that's it. They're just going to be with me. Just keep that mindset of I'm just going to be myself. And that mindset that also includes you and the trauma and the dysfunction and the mindset that has caused you to attract the same Build-A-Bear, the same toxic relationship over and over and over again. The same part of you that believes the lies about yourself, that believes that you're not worthy, that believes that you're not enough, that believes that you're too old, you're too fat, you're too short, you have too many kids, you're too this or that, you're too successful, you're too intimidating, or whatever it is that you believe about yourself. Just keep that up. Just keep being yourself. The version of you that shows up, who shows up where you're jaded, where you expect men to cheat on you, where you expect men to mistreat you, where you are afraid of getting hurt, and that fear attracts exactly what it is that you're afraid of. Like, keep doing that, because it's much easier to just stay yourself than to actually learn better and change. And then that will help you to just stay single for the rest of your life. Third thing for you to do in order for you to just stay chronically single or stay attracting toxic, dysfunctional relationships is don't heal first, okay? Don't focus on properly healing first. Just go out there and date because you are feeling lonely, because you are feeling like you're tired of being by yourself. You're tired of seeing all your friends end up in a relationship. You're tired of all of the hoops that you feel like that you need to jump through. So, you don't want to have to worry about healing. You just want to find the man, because all you need to do is find the man, and then you can start living. You can start traveling to the places you want to travel to. You can start living life the way you want to live. This is what you've been telling yourself. So focus on healing your love blocks first. A love block is any thought, behavior, or belief that continues to block you from attracting healthy love. Understanding that thoughts have vibrational frequency. Your thoughts align with the experiences that you have been attracting. And as you continue to have the thoughts that you have and the beliefs that you have, even if they are subconscious, you will continue to attract at the level, at the vibration, at the frequency of your thoughts. And your thoughts will continue to permeate as long as you have unhealed love blocks, as long as you have those traumas, as long as you've had those subconscious beliefs that your subconscious mind has been programmed to believe is normal, even if it causes you pain. So don't worry about healing first, okay? Just keep dating first. Keep looking for love first versus healing. And then that will help you so that you can stay single, so that can help you so that you can keep attracting the same toxic relationships over and over again. Fourth thing for you to do so that you can stay chronically single and so that you can keep attracting toxic relationships over and over and over again is stay in your masculine energy. Stay in your high masculine energy, because if you stay in your high masculine energy, you are for certain to attract toxic men. You are for certain to attract men who are going to drain you. You are for certain to attract men who are going to make you jump out of the possibility of going into your feminine energy, and they're going to drive you more and more into your stress hormone producing cortisol, because they're going to stress you out. Because the more you're in your masculine energy, the more you're a polarization to men who are in their feminized energy. And feminine energy is a receptive energy. If you don't believe me, look at your female organs. Does it receive or does it give? Feminine energy receives. Feminine energy creates. And so when you have a man saying that he wants you to pay 50-50, when you have a man that's okay with you being the one that's paying all the bills, with you being the one that's shooting your shot and approaching him or chasing him or doing all the calling or doing all the texting or making the effort or spending all that money on him, buying him gifts, then ma'am, you are with a man who's highly in his feminine energy, and that kind of man will continue to drain you. That kind of man will start to resent you. Have you not noticed that those kind of low quality, meaty back Build-A-Bears tend to resent you? Those end up being the men that cheat on you. Those end up being the men that mistreat you, that put you down, that make you second guess yourself, that make you second guess your value, that make you now start to doubt yourself. It always ends up being the men that are beneath you. Have you not noticed that? When you decide that you're going to date down, because if you date down, then of course he's going to appreciate you. That's the thinking. You think if you date down, oh, you're altruistic, you are such a kind heart because you don't judge anybody. You're just going to give everybody a chance and see his potential. He's dealing with deficiencies in the bedroom, and because he's dealing with his deficiencies in the bedroom, then he takes it out on you. So if you're feeling insecure, you're not going to want to go anywhere. He's not going to try to step his game up. He's not going to take accountability for himself. He's not going to take accountability for becoming a better man. He's not going to take accountability for working on healing his own issues. He's not going to take accountability for healing his own confidence or making more money or doing better. No, the easiest thing to do is to knock you down. So he will feel resentment towards you, which means he will mistreat you. He will devalue you. He will most likely cheat on you. And then that will guarantee that you will attract unhealthy relationships or just stay chronically single. And that for certain is going to push away all the masculine men. You won't have to worry about the masculine men, the kind of men who will actually pour into you, the kind of men who want to take care of you, because masculine energy loves providing. Masculine energy loves protecting. It loves pouring in. It loves doing. It's a doing energy. It's biologically built in them to do for you. Your feminine energy feeds that desire for them to do for you. So you're either going to attract a man who is in his healthy, healed, masculine energy or who is feminized, ma'am. And it's your life. You can pick whichever one you want. You like the feminine men that's going to drain you, that wants you to pour into them, that pursue them and earn them, ma'am. If you like it, I love it, okay? But I'll tell you what, you're going to be one tired woman. You're going to be one frustrated woman. You might even grow a beard at that rate. All right, fifth thing that you can do so that you can keep attracting toxic, dysfunctional, low vibrational relationships and stay chronically single is that you can just not focus on changing your subconscious mind. Stay in therapy. Just do therapy, because a lot of women think that knowing what's wrong and talking about it all the time is the same as healing what's wrong. Not to dismiss the value of therapy, because therapy has its value, but you're talking about reprogramming a behavior that has been ingrained and wired into your brain since you were an infant. And that requires specialized training and technique to do, or it will be super difficult for you to consciously think, let me do this, let me do that, let me do this. So it will take you longer to get the results that you're looking for. So if you are not seeking guidance or an expert that can help you to rewire your subconscious mind so that you can be your healed, whole, authentic self that is now attracting from a point of the healed version of you that is aligned with that healed version of you, aligned with attracting a healthy relationship, aligned with you having confidence, with you seeing who you really are through the lens of healing versus the lens of lack or not enoughness or being unworthy, then that means that you will then attract toxic, dysfunctional relationships. Why? Because your subconscious mind, if it's not being rewired, will always gravitate to your lowest point of trauma. It will see the man that is the narcissist, the man that is emotionally unavailable, the man who is dishonest, untrustworthy, who doesn't have any ambitions. It will see that as your normal. The sixth thing is date for chemistry. You are only looking to consider men who you have chemistry with, who you have fireworks with, men who you feel butterflies for. If you don't feel butterflies for him, then he is not an option. You should eliminate him. And that is a for sure way for you to keep attracting dysfunctional relationships. If you want to keep attracting toxic relationships, as I was saying, or stay chronically single, then look for chemistry, look for the butterflies, look for the fireworks. Keep looking and only date men that you like. Only date the men that you like and feel chemistry for. Because if you feel chemistry, then that means that he is trauma bonding with you. That's your trauma speaking. That's your trauma that has recognized his trauma that matches your trauma. So it's going to be a great relationship. Or a great relationship in trauma. How about that? Or if you feel butterflies is your hypothalamus that has recognized danger, okay? It's in your brain. And the hypothalamus starts to produce cortisol, which goes to your stomach. And the butterfly feeling is the feeling of that cortisol dropping to your stomach when you meet somebody who is toxic for you, who is the man that is going to disappoint you, who is going to hurt you, who is going to be the same man with a different face of your ex. That's the butterfly. So if you want to keep the toxic going on, then keep looking for the butterflies. Don't date based on the formula of looking for somebody that you're determining their character, their values, and their valor. Don't do that. Don't date with the formula based in science that tells you how to have an advantage, tells you how do you trigger a man's vasopressin so that he is hooked on you for life. You don't want to do that. You don't want to learn any of that, okay? Because all of that would be too much for your brain to learn. That would be 7. 7 is reject the idea of learning the science of attraction. Don't worry about it. It's too much work. I hear that all the time. It's too much games, Shay. So what you want to do is reject the idea of learning the science. It's not like you had to learn the techniques to be good at your job, or when you went to college, you had to learn how to do the things you needed to do so that you can graduate. Like, we know that you've been learning your whole entire life, and when something's important to you, you will learn that. But when it comes to the most important aspect of your life, which is who you choose to allow to be a partner in your life, then to hell with that, ma'am. Don't worry about really educating yourself and learning how to attract top quality who you can build your empire with, whom you can raise your children in a healthy environment with, who can be the partner that inspires you to be the greatest version of you, to live the greatest version of your life. Like, why would you do that? Just wing it. Do what your emotions tell you to do. Emotions that are oftentimes based in fairy tales or fear. Don't worry about learning the science that will actually give you an advantage, that will teach you how exactly men are biochemically wired to fall for a woman and why he will choose one woman over another every single time based on not what you think logically makes sense, but based on the science. Don't do that. And then 8, just date one man at a time, okay? Just don't worry about dating 3 men at a time like Shay, your love diva, teaches you to do. Forget that. Why would you want to do that? You're too busy worrying about how men think about you. You're too busy worrying about qualifying for a man's approval instead of qualifying them for your approval. So instead, you can't walk and chew gum at the same time. You can't keep, track of all the different names. You're worried about falling for multiple men at one time because God forbid you regulate your emotions and date for data. Use dating as an interview process. God forbid you dating your power. You date for your own benefits. God forbid you do that. So don't worry about dating 3 men at a time, even though you're a single woman who doesn't owe a man your exclusivity without his commitment. Nah, just date 1 man at a time and waste your time, which is way more valuable than a man's time. You have much less time than a man does. When it comes to procreation, your time is way more valuable, ladies. And the studies show that as a woman, your time is way more valuable because your procreation range is shorter. Because when you have children and you are moving away from the workforce, then that also decreases your earning potential. So you have a lot more risks. You have a lot less time. So your time is way more valuable. It's way more valuable than a man. And a man has mastered the art of dating, if you want to call it that, because men don't just date. They will have sex with multiple women while calling themselves single. And they have no problem with that. Because to them, they can do what they want. They're single. They're not in a committed relationship. And technically, they're right. I mean, is it the right thing to do? I say no. You shouldn't be dating and having sex because why would you do that, ma'am? Okay. You wouldn't give anybody that you hire for a job or you haven't hired for a job benefits. So why would you give him the benefit of your body, of the essence of you, when he hasn't even earned you? That's like giving your house away to somebody who says they're interested in your house and they haven't even put a contract on your house. They haven't even purchased. The wire didn't even come through to the bank yet to purchase your house. But you know what? Forget all of that, ma'am. Go exclusive. Because basically when you date 1 man at a time, that's what you're doing. You're going exclusive to a man who hasn't even committed to you. And you're excluding any other options while wasting your time, which per the studies, that's the slowest way. That's the fastest way to just stay single because it slows down your ability to be able to evaluate and attract quality men. Because per science, when men are competing against each other, even if they don't know you're dating other men, and I'm not saying to keep it from them, because they're no man's worth you lying about it. It's your life. You're a single woman. You have the right to do whatever you want to do during your free time. Okay? It won't work if you're having sex with different men. I'm just letting you know that. However, you have the right to do what it is that you want to do. But per science, when there's more than 1 man that is competing for a woman, then his testosterone, his brain recognizes that. His brain will start to produce more testosterone, which will make him more competitive and more driven to earn you. Why do you think in all of your romantic love stories and all your books, your romance books, why do you think the woman always has 2 guys that are vying for her hand? All of y'all that watch Bridgerton, hello, ma'am. Were there not, like the women that had more than 1 guy courting her, trying to earn her? Did the guys not be more motivated to try to earn her? Did they not end up being more into her, valuing her more, giving her more, doing everything he can to make her happy more? Did y'all not watch Twilight, as dysfunctional as that whole entire saga was? I love it, but hello, all the great books that women love, there's always 2 men that are vying for her hand. But here we are, Vampire Diaries, all of them. Here we are, talking about we can't date more than 1 man. So you know what, ma'am, you like it, I love it. Just date 1 man at a time. Just continue to waste your time and do you. And that will help you to stay chronically single or attracting toxic, dysfunctional relationships. Number 9, reject coffee dates. Don't do coffee dates. because you keep listening to all of these untrained, uncertified, unknowledgeable internet experts who keep telling you that coffee dates are low quality. So keep listening to them, okay? A lot of them who keep stealing my stuff, by the way, who keep copying my content, who are now talking about vasopressin and the science of attraction without knowing the science of attraction. Just keep listening to all of them. Do what they say so that you can stay single like they're staying single, okay? You can stay attracting the same toxic, dysfunctional relationships like they are. Keep rejecting coffee dates, which, by the way, according to facts, I believe documentation beats conversation all day long. And the documentation, the facts say that statistically that women who are more likely to reject coffee dates are less likely to get married. And that the highest demographics that are more likely to get married, which are Asians, are more likely to do coffee dates. The demographic that is more likely to do coffee dates in the age range, which are older people, they're more likely to get married. The demographics of high income earners that make $100,000 or more. Listen to this. Let this blow your panties away. The highest earning demographics prefer coffee dates. So just keep saying you don't like coffee, as if coffee houses don't have 50 billion trillion different drinks, as if they don't have tea, mocha, chocolate, matcha, hot chocolate, tea, water, juice, smoothies, ma'am. Just keep it. Keep it up. Just keep finding all the excuses on why you should keep rejecting coffee dates. And forget the fact that they did a study that shows that if you do go on coffee dates, then he is more likely to get a warm drink or hold a warm drink. And that when you hold a warm drink, then you're more likely to think warm, nurturing thoughts about the person you're looking at. You're more likely to bond with somebody when you do a coffee drink. Ma'am, you're more likely to keep your time limited because a coffee date should only be 45 minutes tops, which will drive his desire to want more from you, which will drive his curiosity and anticipation for seeing you, which are two of the three must-have components in order to trigger his vasopressin. CAP. Curiosity, anticipation, and polarity. So per the statistics, if you was one of my students and I taught you how to do this, he would, at the minimum, even if he ordered a cold drink, even if you don't like coffee, you're going to order something hot, even if it's hot water, ma'am. Because you're dating for wisdom. You're dating, understand that rich men are more likely to do coffee dates. And my clients, they don't attract money dysfunctional men. That's not what my students are doing. So they know how to get a man to hold even their warm cup of whatever is inside of it. Because even just the act of him holding her cup will now start to trigger him feeling more warm thoughts and increase the likelihood, which will trigger his more likeliness of wanting a second date. And then the last thing to do so that you could stay chronically single or attracting toxic, dysfunctional relationships is keep looking for the fairy tales. Okay? Keep looking for the Disney movie to happen to you. Stay home. Just stay home. Don't even go out your house. Don't be intentional. Just stay home and keep looking at free videos and keep looking for free information on the internet to help you improve your love life. Don't even invest in yourself. Definitely don't do that. Don't invest in yourself, because investing in yourself is going to speed up the time it takes for you to be able to attract love. Investing in yourself is going to help you to be able to, I know for a lot of my students, double and triple and 10x their income. That's going to be too much for you to do, okay? Investing in yourself to get proper coaching so that you can properly heal will help you to attract higher quality men, and you don't want to do that, okay? You don't want to attract the men who make more money and who are better quality men or who are more likely to love and appreciate you and you can build an empire with. You don't want to do that. You don't want to invest in yourself. You want to believe the fairy tale, believe that he's going to fall through the ceiling. So I am telling you what not to do, because the way the brain works after doing this for 2 decades is when I tell you something, then your brain is automatically triggered to find why it's not going to work, which will distract you from hearing what's going to work. So then you can't even receive it. Your brain is just going to reject it, especially if you're consciously not there. So when you say things in reverse, according to science, then your mind reverses it to take it as truth so that you can do the opposite. So you definitely don't want to invest in yourself. You definitely don't want to choose yourself. You definitely don't want to find a high quality love strategist who's going to be able to help you. You want to nickel and dime and find little courses here and there and then hope for the best. Okay, so that you can attract a Walmart man. And then here's a bonus. Don't invest in yourself, even though you want a man who's going to invest in you, even though you want a man who's going to value you enough, who's going to be able to pour into you, a man who's going to also be able to co-create with you, who's going to be able to make your life easier, even though you want to live in abundance. Okay, even though you want to attract more wealth, even though you want to live life on your terms and you want to live a life of freedom, don't invest in yourself so that you can be able to set yourself up to attract that kind of man and have that kind of life. Of course not. No, you can just do it for free because that makes sense. That's energetically in alignment. Okay, nothing from nothing equals nothing. And what I realize is that when people say I can't afford it, that means that they're saying I don't value this enough to invest or to figure it out. I don't value this enough in order to be uncomfortable as I ask the questions of what can I do, or make a decision in your mind, because we all know, how many of you guys ever was in a critical situation where a loved one maybe needed a surgery, maybe needed help, maybe needed money, whatever it was, and you really didn't have the money, but you figured it out, you did it anyway, or you saw something you wanted to buy, you really didn't have the money, and then you figured it out anyway. Say I. How many of you guys ever been in that kind of situation? Say I. We all do. We all do. We all figure it out. If our child was life-threatening and we needed to find the money in order to save our child, then we're going to do that. However, we don't realize how our decisions are affecting our kids, our current kids, or our future children. We don't realize how our love blocks are affecting our children, how it's setting them up for pain, how it's putting them in danger, how it's setting them up to attract toxic relationships. What if your child attracted the kind of relationships that you've been attracting? Would it be worth it then? What would you do if your child was in danger and you had to do whatever it takes in order to get them out of danger? Would you figure it out? Yes or no? Whatever. That's your decision. You know what you would do as a mother. Now here is the bonus. Bonus thing to do so that you can continue to attract toxic dysfunctional relationships or stay chronically single. Here it is. Have sex with a man who's not your man. Have one night stands. Have sex with men that you just date, who you're just seeing, whatever the hell that means. I don't even know what that means. Okay. Just have sex with men who haven't committed to you, who haven't made a declaration that they're going to be exclusive to you. Just have sex with these men because they're cute, because they smell good, because you're hoping that if the sex is so good, then that means that he will choose you. Just continue to listen to all the people on Beyonce's internet who said that they had sex with their husband, their Walmart husband, okay? And who said that, yeah, now I'm married for 25,000 years because I had sex with him on the first night. I don't know why you would be proud of that. I don't understand that logic. However, as somebody who runs a top level love mastery agency where these women are booking sessions and sitting down and they're talking to me, I have never seen a situation, not one. I have never ever seen one situation where a woman had sex with her husband, if he was her husband, on the first night and didn't go through some type of hell. Or they just have the most amazing relationship. Not one. Don't believe the lies, ma'am. Okay? It's a crock of voodoo is what it is.